way. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, y'all. So I thought that I would come and chit chat while I clean up my kitchen. And this is going to be quite a challenge. It's going to be quite a challenge because my landlord has not came to fix the garbage disposal, which really sucks. Ugh, I hate it. He should have just replaced it last month, but he didn't because I swear my landlord is the cheapest man that ever lived. Which is actually one of my pet peeves. Actually, I want to talk about pet peeves today and why do we have pet peeves. But I decided today that probably instead of taking my walk, that I'm going to get my exercise with cleaning up. Because I got to clean up my kitchen. I do have a ritual to do today. I got to change the cat's litter box. So I have a few things to do around the house. And I also need to clean up Jacob's room. It needs to be cleaned up bad. It's just emitting bad vibes. So it's got to get cleaned up. But I'm kind of frustrated about my kitchen. And the fact that my garbage disposal is not working. Instead of sending repair people over, my landlord just comes himself, which is a bad sign of a landlord. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, it makes sense to save money, but some stuff you just need to have professionally done. And then also, your tenant should not have to wait more than 3 days for a garbage disposal to be fixed. That's kind of critical. You know, garbage disposals, if you have a sink that has a garbage disposal, it has to be functioning. I know that he does that to save money, and it's quite annoying, which leads me to my first pet peeve is cheap. You know what? I don't even think that cheap women piss me off, but I think that cheap men are definitely a pet peeve of mine. And that's why I can't stand my landlord. Anybody that tries to treat me as if they can just, get by or get over with just giving me subpar service, and it just really irritates me. It does. So that's one of my pet peeves, but that's not a major one. It's not. It does irritate me that he takes so long to fix stuff. For example, I texted him like 3 days ago. He has not answered, and he needs to send somebody to fix the damn garbage disposal. Now, guys, it's okay because, like I said, I'm moving. And I did do a pretty powerful ritual so that he could stop holding me in this house like a hostage. So that's probably a byproduct of that. But it's definitely getting my butt in gear to go ahead and definitely move. The fact that he won't fix nothing, and he won't fix it within a timely manner. Okay, so one of my pet peeves is, what in the world? Good Lord. Get out of my chat room. Come in here with that mess. We live real life over here. We're not floating through life in anger over here. Just constantly online attacking folks. We're not doing that over here, honey. So, go somewhere else with that. Go to your channel and do that. We got crazy people in this world. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm, kind of like living normal life, cleaning up my kitchen because I'm planning on frying some chicken tonight. And I'm making me some coffee. So yeah, my landlord gets on my nerve with his cheapness. But that's not a big pet peeve. One of my really biggest pet peeves is people being nosy and in my business. And I'm not talking about, because people on YouTube will say, well, if you tell your business, we have the right to comment. Yeah, but you don't have the right to try to manipulate my business, or, like go on some damn plight or something, like everybody has their own right to their own opinion. Everybody does. But, just don't come at me too disrespectful. Okay. I don't like disrespectful people. People that, and I swear on YouTube, it's bad on here, y'all. But I think it's disrespectful to ask a person their business. Like when people ask me something that's personal, I always reply with what? Like, why you ask me that? Like, if you ask somebody a question and their first response is why are you asking me that? Then that clearly means that you have like overstepped some kind of boundary. Just saying. I don't know. I was somebody that was raised with privacy. So maybe that's what it is. But I mean, I just don't like it when people be in my business and people be trying to say little things and, try to convince me, man, you don't know my life. And 9 times out of 10, you don't know the situation. And if you don't know, then you have no opinion. For real. So that's like a huge pet peeve, is for people to try to, involve themselves in my personal business. And you know what, another pet peeve of mine is when you ask somebody not to tell something, which it's not very often that I do that. But, if you ask somebody, don't tell somebody something. Like if you tell them something serious and they tell, I know that could be a lot of people's pet peeve, though. That could be a lot of people's. Okay, here's one of my biggest pet peeves. Going around and around in circles about something. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. I cannot go around in a loop. I don't like being in loops. I don't. Okay. It's 4 people in the chat. Ain't nobody hit the thumbs up yet. Is there a problem today, or has is it only trolls in here right now? Are y'all having a bad Saturday or something? Thank you, 1 thumb upper. Thank you. You get me that. Thank you. Hit the thumbs up for me trying to do the dishes with no freaking garbage disposal. It's definitely possible. Sometimes you waste too much because the stuff that I gotta clean by hand, which is just a couple of bowls, sometimes you end up wasting a lot of dishwashing liquid, because I can't really. Well, I guess something I can. Hey, fuck no, stop. My pet peeve is when cats grab at stuff like the trash bag while you're trying to put stuff in it, and they're trying to poke holes in trash bags. Anyway, why do we have pet peeves? I think that we have pet peeves because there are some people that certain stuff they just don't like, I think everybody is an individual. Everybody has their little ways. Everybody. Okay, so what is this? I got 1 more lemon left in there. But people being in my business has got to be my biggest pet peeve. That's my biggest pet peeve. People in your business and people trying to dictate your life. That's the reason why I do not speak to my mother at all. I can't stand that if you do it to me, and I feel like you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I'll let certain people be in my business. Yeah, I'll tell certain people all my business. Okay, but I think that there's some things that people don't need to even wonder about me. You know, there's some things that people don't need to know about you. There's some things that are going to be very personal and sacred to certain people in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people shouldn't even want to invade that space. What would be the point? Why would you need to invade somebody else's sacred space? You know? I got some sourdough bread. Yeah, I'm gonna make me a sandwich today. So I think the reason why we had pet peeves is probably because of, if you don't know what a pet peeve is when something is particularly annoying to you, that, you know, the thing that really annoys you the most. I think one of the things that annoys me is judgment. When people judge, man, people need to quit doing that, because, you know, you never know. I think that's one of God's biggest pet peeves is people that are judgmental. I'm telling you, you gotta stop judging folks. You gotta quit judging people, man. Okay? It just is bad. And with somebody like me, I don't even hang around judgmental people. Judgmental people usually are heavy gossipers too. And they always seem to be looking at other people, but not taking care of their own business. So I'm one of them people that likes to take care of business. I have 2 rituals that I have to do for clients this weekend. And, you know, I don't have time to waste energy on somebody else's life or somebody else's business. So maybe that's why the way that I am. I think that if you too far up in somebody else's business, then maybe you need to get some of your own, is what I think. I'm just saying. Other than that, there's not too many things that get on my nerve besides going through like the same thing over and over and over. I don't like cycles, especially bad negative cycles. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I feel like if you have an issue, you should resolve your issue and leave it resolved. Okay? I have to, I know how I can drain this thing, and then it'll also catch the fluid. So, excuse me, cat. Kitty cat. Look out the way, kitty cat. So I'm gonna be frying some chicken tonight, and doing some cleaning during the day. Cleaning is such good exercise. It really is. So, and then I'm gonna get that ritual done that I have to do. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. It takes a lot to be a high priestess. It does. It takes a lot. A lot of people don't know that it's an actual real field that you can work in. Okay, why is this spraying out like that? I want to spray. Okay. It's an actual field. It is. That's why people go and they pay thousands of dollars to be initiated. Once you learn how to do witchcraft, which, like I said, I am going to be hiring some people. And depending on how fast you advance, well, actually, I'm hiring an assistant right now. I'm talking about an in-person assistant. I got to have an in-person assistant. When you're a high priestess, sometimes you can do a ritual that will wipe you out. Sometimes you can do a reading that will wipe you out. Okay? And you can't just be messing around, you know. It takes a certain level of maturity. A high priestess is something that's very different than just an ordinary witch. And not to say that any witch is ordinary, but a high priestess is more like a person that usually possesses several gifts. I'll get into the high priestess stuff later, but y'all know what I'm talking about. In my opinion, I think that what differs is that a high priestess can banish demons. Witches can too, but I see an awful lot of people with demons attached to them that are not good. And they say they're a witch. And I'm like, well, why would you have a demon attached to you that could potentially be hazardous to your mental and physical health and well-being, you know? But demons and spirits is two different things. I actually have a couple of spirits that I need to run out of this house, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to actually, sometimes you can use that energy for your rituals. So today is Saturday, which is related to Saturn. Hopefully not too many people will be at war. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. I've been wanting to do a reading on that. I think I will at some point today. I think I'll do a reading on that situation because there's a lot of people that are suspecting that he was actually murdered, which, I mean, he wasn't. See, here's the whole thing. He was only accused of his crime. I don't think he had been convicted yet. So, you know, I don't know. That's how I look at legal cases. You know, just because somebody is accused of it, is there enough evidence? Is it a bogus case? You know, there's been many of bogus cases against people. So I haven't read into the situation and I don't know much about him and I haven't been following it. But what I will tell you is that a lot of people suspect that he didn't really, because him committing suicide makes him look guilty. Okay, if you commit suicide like that, kind of makes him look guilty, but doesn't mean that he is. They suspect that, you know, people have been saying, but people always have their conspiracy theories. He may have just killed himself. I think I want to do a reading and find out with the cards. So, you know what? I think I'm going to come back and actually talk about something else, guys. Because for some reason, my title about trolls. And sometimes you can talk about things that are negative without hatred. Like you can talk about things diplomatically. It doesn't have to be a shitting contest. And that's actually not what I was planning on doing. So I think that troll that came in here kind of thought that we were, doing war right now. It's like, no, I'm just cleaning up my kitchen. But I do want to come right back and talk to y'all about readings and then other new stuff that I have on the website. All right. So I'm going to give me some coffee and I will be right back.